Hi ladies, welcome back to my channel. So today's video is the third femininity video on this channel, and we are discussing the art of voice control. Okay, the art of feminine voice control, to be specific. So if you are using the tips that I gave in my last two femininity videos, linked up here if you're on a desktop and in the description box if you're on your mobile phone, then you will have mastered a lot, okay? But to add in voice control really does wonders, and it just takes it to the next level. And if you are dating men, successful men, and you are ultimately in your divine femininity and using voice control, you are basically dictating how your dating experience with that guy will go. Okay, so let's do scenario time right now, and let's say, for instance, you are on a date and you're dressed very feminine, you smell good, you smell feminine as well, you are acting feminine, and you are sounding feminine. So you're basically activating and stimulating every single one of the senses that, well, to a certain extent, honey, that he needs to be stimulated. Okay, so you're doing your best when it comes to visuals, sense, and all of that stuff. And of course, you're being a bit tactile with him as well. So you really are stimulating a lot of things for him. Okay, so you are in your femininity and you are sounding cute, you're sounding innocent, you are sounding, so you're obviously putting on a cute voice, or naturally you're just softening your voice. And you're also, to change the mood and to make the atmosphere change into something more seductive and a really sensual, mysterious, erotic, I guess, moment, you change that voice up and you make it more whispery, and you come close to him and you do that in his ear, and you can make your voice sound a bit more groany, and you just change that situation up, and he's going to feel like, wait, what actually just happened? He's not going to really be able to keep up with that. Then you go back to being cutesy again, and it's okay, so I am having such a nice time with you. I'm so pleased that you invited me out. Where will we, whatever it is that you want to speak about, keep the attention on him. We've spoken about that as well in the first date series. Watch it if you haven't, okay? And that will really help you with conversation on the first date, that video. So that series as well. So you are not just being flatlined, basic Betty with your conversation, your conversational skills, but your voice control, but you are fluctuating things and making it fun and exciting. And when you do that and you captivate somebody, it will make you guys stop sending me DMs. How do I get the guy that I'm dating to stop staring at the girl, on the table next to us? Or how do I stop this man from flirting with whoever or doing X, Y, and Z when he's on a date with you? Because you're probably not stimulating him to the fullest. And some men need extra stimulation, and the stimulation can really be dealt with voice control. So when you're using voice control, you're able to dictate how that moment, like the feelings, the energy is in that moment when you change up your voice. And it also goes into doing expressions that make sense with it. You really must play about in the mirror, record yourself, and practice this voice. Practice the actions and the facial expressions, the hand gestures, the body positioning, and all of that you do that will go along with it. When you're on a date and you're in front of a man and you're physically on that date, honey, you really can see how it will come across properly rather than doing it by yourself behind closed doors. Because when you're in front of a man that just is a masculine man, it just brings out your femininity. It really does. And that's why when we are around more masculine men, we start being naturally more giggly, more smiley, touching our hair more, and you just really fit into that mold, that feminine mold, just naturally. And you will really see that if you just allow yourself to do what comes naturally to you, you will probably most likely be acting feminine anyway. But to most of us, it's not normal and we're not used to it anymore. And we need to start bringing that into our subconscious mind, darling, so that it's just natural for us. So let's give you guys another example, okay? So you're still out on this first date that you're on, and you've changed up the, your tempo a tiny bit. You are speaking obviously slowly, and you're never like rushing anything and speaking like that, or, oh, so how was your day today? No, you're never doing that. It's always slow and, girly, and nothing's rushed. It's all relaxed, and you're allowing him to feel calm at the same time, and he's going to like the way that your energy, your voice, your conversational skills, your voice control is making him feel. He's going to like that and enjoy it, and it's going to make him feel comfortable. Now, what you want to make sure that you are doing with your voice control is not putting on one voice for such a prolonged period of time. Because let's say you're doing the seductive sexy voice. If you then are doing that for, let's just say, an hour straight, when you try to switch that on to change up the mood at some point because you want his attention for some reason, or you're trying to put it on him, or you're trying to get X, Y, and Z, you will not have the same power, and it will not hold the same weight as it would if you didn't do that voice all the time, right? That being said, with your cute feminine voice, that's just a natural thing from now on. That's normal to you. So when you're on your dates, it's constantly a cute feminine voice. Let me give you an example of that, first of all. So if I'm speaking, this is an example of my natural voice. I just kind of sound like this, right? And if I was on a date, then this is what I would do. This is an example of my voice when I'm out on a date. It's a bit softer, and it's a bit more innocent like, and just like I need to be, I guess, protected and stuff like that. Okay, that's the vibe I'm trying to give off, right? If I'm trying to make somebody feel comfortable around me, I'm going to speak a lot softer and basically put on a very cutesy voice, right? If I'm trying to seduce the hell out of somebody and get what I want, I'm going to do the voice that I said to you in the beginning. It must resemble some like sexy stuff. Let's go over onto the laugh, because laughing is also really important. And some of you walk around here with your laugh, you just sound like Peter Griffin or something, and you need to change that, okay? So a laugh is something that you must figure out what laugh you want, practice that laugh, capture it, and do it. And that's the laugh that you stick to. So if you might have two laughs, to be fair, okay? So I would say I kind of have two. So one of them is very cutesy, and it's more, I don't even want to do it. It just sounds so silly doing it on a video. But when you're in person and you're on a date, it's not silly, and it's the real thing. Okay, so one of my laughs is a bit more cutesy, and it's kind of like what I just did just now, I guess, but on a more animated scale. And the other one is just like a cute kind of giggle. So figure out what you're doing. Don't bust out laughing like, ah, with all your teeth showing, all your gums and everything. Make sure that your laugh actually is cute and it fits in with the rest of your voice control, because your laugh is also part of your voice. So voice control, it must be voice controlled also. I urge you guys to actually watch a few of my videos, and these are the videos that I suggest. Well, I won't bother going through all of them. I'll link them in the description box, okay? And those videos that I'm suggesting, along with this voice control video, will allow you to have the femininity that you need to not only score dates with people, and to not only be taken out to nice meals and have champagne like somebody's comment to me earlier, but to actually allow a longer term thing and for more benefits, okay? So if you want the most from your dating experiences, if you want to secure bags, if you want to have men feel like they, they must be that provider and that protector for you, you must make them feel that way towards you, okay? And the way to do that is with the femininity of it all. So I'm just trying to drive this one home, honey. So your look, your scent, the way you act. So that goes with your conversation skills. Are you leading? Is he leading? It goes with all of that as well, right? Obviously the walking thing, I'll put that in with the looks, right? And with your voice control. Those things are just, it changes things. And before I was doing these things, I did not have the dating experiences that I'm having today. So another point that I want to add in is the fact that I have changed my voice a lot. So I have done voice control and I've used these techniques on myself. Now, if you watch my videos a year ago, 2 years ago, you will have noticed that there has been a huge change in my voice. And that is because I have made and do make a conscious choice to do so. I really was just not pronouncing my T's all the time. I was choosing adjectives like, oh, it was really nice, instead of, you can choose more feminine adjectives to describe things, maybe like delightful or creamy, or oh, that's just delicious, instead of, oh yeah, it tastes really nice. It's like there are more feminine ways to describe things as well. So that's another I guess another avenue that you can explore with your femininity voice control and the words that are coming out that you're using your voice to say. Another thing that I have changed is obviously the tone, the whole octave situation. I have softened my voice up and just made it sound a bit more like a bit more feminine, literally just more feminine. And I didn't sound like a man or anything before. I mean, you guys have watched my videos, but I did not sound like a lady, okay? So that's the point that I'm trying to make. I am speaking to you guys from experience myself, and that's why I'm able to tell you, look, these are things that you can change. Another thing with voice and speech that must change is grammar and the use of it correctly. So this is another thing that I used to be really lazy with, and I'm really hard on, well, not hard on myself, but I am extremely conscious of what I'm saying and if I'm saying it right. Okay, so that's another thing to take into account. Instead of saying something like you was, it's you were. So you've got to look at small things like that it just doesn't make sense, and it's distracting when you get it wrong, and the person that you're on a date with is extremely educated and he gets it right. So you just don't want to draw attention to yourself in a bad way. When it comes to speech, you're trying to speak to someone in a sexy way and turn them on or be seductive and do this, and then you can't even speak English properly, like really? So get these things looked at and start researching things that you need to change. Okay, you know, learn a few more adjectives that you think are a bit more feminine and a bit more girly, and use those and replace those boring words that everybody uses, and get some really, really cute feminine ones instead. And yeah, so I hope that you guys enjoy this video, and I'm gonna love you and leave you, and I'll see you in my next one. Mwah.